What's going on, all Nerdtooine favorites and friends? How we doing? We're having a very special guest on today. This little special presentation of Nerdtooine and Movie Podcast with Chandler Poole from Whatnot Comics. So how are you doing today, man?
What's going on, man? It's good. Kicking off the holiday weekend here, so can't complain.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be. We're gonna have a nice little chat. So, what started with how did Whatnot become to be?
Yeah, so the app's been around for about a year and a half now. The original co-founders were thinking about something that they could build that would bring value. They were collectors themselves, and found that they could build a better marketplace to serve the Funko Pop community. So started as a marketplace, really spun that up into, kind of having these live shows, which they implemented and kind of took off from there. And, now we're in a bunch of different categories, have a lot of resources and have raised a lot of funding, and it's super exciting. So, I mean, yeah, it started with Funko Pops, but now they're really looking to serve the whole collector community at large.
And we're a big community. I mean, like, you got Funko Pops, you got sports cards, you got comic books and all that stuff. And and it's, from what I've seen, it's kind of like a mix between eBay and Instagram, where you get hooked up with a wide market of people that might not be like following you or in your fan base, but you still have that one-on-one interaction that you would from like a YouTube or an Instagram live sale.
Yeah, exactly. I think Grant, our CEO, kind of said it well this morning. He was on Yahoo Finance and kind of said, it's imagine Twitch meets eBay, right? So you have this live streaming aspect of sellers hosting shows, but then kind of bringing the auction aspect of things live, to the audience, where sellers and buyers can come together and auction some stuff off and really have a good time. And at the end of the day, have a place to hang out and engage.
Okay, so now when we talked before, you said that you weren't always a collector. So I'm going to steal a question from my good friend, Hard to Come By. What was the first comic you ever bought?
So I'll correct you on that, because I have been a collector before.
Okay.
So
okay.
Comics is definitely newer for me. To be fair, before this, I was really into NFTs, kind of before NFTs were a thing. So I was doing a lot of stuff there, which is, why Whatnot came across my radar as well. But since I've been really paying attention to comics for the past 6 weeks or so, there was a Joker #1 sketch variant. I saw it was actually on a Whatnot show, and I saw it. And growing up, I mean, my exposure to superheroes, like, I remember my dad taking me to Batman and Batman Begins, and he's in the cave, he's doing his thing. And then that leads to the next movie with the Joker. And I loved the artwork. And I was like, I need to have this. So I bid on it myself and came in the mail here.
Nice. I don't have the sketch one, but I have like 4 or 5 different covers of that first issue. That Joker run's amazing. Tyon is killing it with that. And Milka and Dolfo. Oh my God. They're such a great team up.
Yeah. So I mean, the cover is sick.
Oh yeah, definitely. All of them were. But yeah, that one's getting up there in price. You got yourself a steal, I'm sure. Because people didn't realize how hot that book was going to be, and from the second I heard it, I was like, ooh, like that was one of the first covers I actually pre-ordered for my pre-order special. I was like, yo, for real, I ordered that like in November. Like,
it
just came out.
Yeah, I'm learning the ropes. I'll have to pre-order next time.
Yeah, so the concept of Whatnot, especially like when it comes to comics, like it really seems to mix like the social media and community of the auction, but having like a large base. So what really sets you apart from eBay, Mercari, and other type of social media auctions?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think really when you look at these marketplaces that have already existed, like eBay, Mercari, in the way that they were able to serve collectors and kind of the experience up to this point, things might have been a little bit more transactional, right? That the experience of buying something might felt a little bit more cold. Buyers and sellers aren't really engaging. sellers don't really have an opportunity to get better feedback from their buyers and bring them what they're looking for, or kind of show them the product in real time live video. So I think when you kind of couple the live auction aspect of that with live video, right, and then everything's already integrated between shipping, inventory, the bidding for the auctions themselves into the app, payments, all of it. When you combine all of that, you then are left with a place where sellers can really, at the end of the day, just do their thing, and show off their inventory and actually connect and have a conversation with their buyers, right? And that's what I think makes it a little bit special. I mean, when people win auctions on Whatnot, they can get shout outs. It's a lot of fun. It's very interactive compared to, maybe on a Friday night like this, being kind of by yourself and perusing through eBay, right? And looking at just different things that you might want to buy there and pulling the trigger.
So now, from a buyer standpoint, when you win an auction, when does payment and all that stuff have to come out?
As a buyer?
Yes.
Yep. So
for both aspects.
Yeah, for sure. So as a buyer, you have your credit card linked right into the app, just like any other shopping app. So when you win an auction or you make a purchase, your credit card's charged right there. You're paying for shipping as well, and it's all pretty seamless. And again, the seller's going to get a packing slip and a record of that transaction, right? And everything that's shipped out to you, you'll have the emails, and you can kind of make sure you can track everything and stay up to date.
So and so this is the shipping's integrated. So is there a flat fee, or is it like depending on the size and weight and stuff like that?
Yeah, for the most part, it's a flat fee. So as a buyer, if you do an awesome stream, right, and I'm watching you and making some offers and winning some stuff, for my first auction that I win, it's $3.50, and then $1 for each individual item thereafter. But then as a seller, all of the shipping labels are prepaid. Sellers don't have to worry about that. So we work with sellers on the back end to make sure that they can just focus on packaging safely, making sure they're getting things out on time, and they can just go back to doing their thing.
Okay. So, just like eBay, I'm sure there are some fees. So what are the fees involved as a seller? Yeah,
for sure. So as a seller, there's an 8% Whatnot fee. And that's in addition to a 2.9% PayPal cash out fee. So it's 10.9% out the door. And then there's a 30 cent per transaction charge as a processing fee.
Okay. So, and now I've seen some people that I know on Instagram hopping over onto your platform. So are you offering any like incentives or doing any type of like strategies to attract more sellers to your app?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of take things on a case-by-case basis. We're definitely willing to partner with sellers, and maybe we'll sponsor a giveaway, or if they have specific holdups, we can work with them through that. So nothing's set in stone. I mean, I really think at the end of the day, we're just trying to provide a positive experience on the platform, allow sellers to try it out, treat it as another channel, see if they like it, get familiar with the payments and the shipping and the whole 9 yards there. So again, I think we take it as a case-by-case basis, but yeah, definitely willing to kind of take a more of like a hand-holding approach and really partner with our sellers early on and really just make sure that they have a positive experience.
Okay. So now, I know like someone like Skeleton Keys, and she's a great Instagram seller.
Right.
Have you what's the feedback been from like the sellers that have come over from like an Instagram or a YouTube after their shows? What have they like? How have they come at you? Like, what did they say? Like positives, negatives, or what they liked and disliked?
Yeah, for sure. So I haven't heard specifically from them yet. I'm still reconnecting with them here in a couple of days. But no, it's been overwhelmingly positive. People are asking how they can come back and do more shows. Getting good feedback on how we can improve the app and really make sure that we're going to be building it, to really help continue to solve the problems and the nuances that comics might face. For instance, like having pictures within the inventory product catalog so people can see the covers and things like that. So we've definitely gotten feedback there, and there's work to do for sure, but definitely have been overwhelmingly positive. People love the fact that, shipping's pretty easy. We're capturing all of the buyers' addresses and everything's pretty streamlined there. So again, we have an awesome team, working to build the app. We're in a lot of different collector categories now. So yeah, feedback's always great, and we're looking to always improve it as well.
No, and like from what I've heard, I mean, it sounds like it's a lot of the best of both worlds. Because like I was talking to you before, I did my first ever live YouTube sale. I mean, I even did a claim sale on my Instagram. I got some good. I got quite a bit of followers, but I didn't have like any bites, on the Instagram sales. And then when I did the YouTube, I ended up doing a fairly decent amount. I ended up selling a West Coast Avengers number 45, the first appearance of White Vision.
There you go.
Put that up on auction. I didn't want to part with it, but I mean, that was
How many books
my
did you
first.
sell? Do you remember?
That night I sold about 11 or 12.
Okay. Cool.
Two of them were like, that one was like a $75 book. Then I had like a one per store variant. On the live streams that around my community, a lot of them are looking for like older comics, which I don't have that many of that I'm wanting to part with, because any older comics I currently have are ones I specifically sought out.
Trying to keep those.
I want that.
For sure.
So I have a lot of like new awesome exclusive ones, like from like the newer runs and like full runs of stuff that people were like surprised that I had. But for the most part, I have to play second fiddle to those guys, because they've had their collection for 30 years. I've started to rebuild mine after 20 years. So, I mean, it's like, from what I hopped on one of your live sales, and the Joker number 2, it was the cover C. It was the first appearance of Bane's daughter. That thing went for $26 in like a second. I was like watching. I'm like, wait a minute, I have that. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So like, and that's how the difference between like an Instagram or a YouTube, you're only connecting to the base you have, versus
I mean, I
like
think
eBay or your app that has like a wider reach.
Yeah, I think a lot of the existing audience on Whatnot, are collectors at their core, and really love this stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, what we've built, it's not just technology. It's a place where, the community can really come together and kind of do their thing and hang out. Whether it's even if you're not interested in, making any purchases that night, just like hopping in some of these streams, like it's a good time, right? Which I think is kind of special and super fun.
No, yeah, that like, and that's one thing I love. Like sometimes even when I'm not planning to buy, I'll just hop on one of the live sales and just, because like it feels like you're at like a comic book shop, just having like a bid and auction in front of all your friends. Like that's how it feels, and that's what Whatnot kind of feels like too, because you can interact with the people who are buying and selling all at the same time. Like I watched some of that Skeleton Keys. Like I wanted some of those comics, but I knew I couldn't afford them, so I hopped on. Was like, okay, she's there, she's doing it, she's liking it. Okay, all right. Before I spend any money, I gotta go. Like because with her comics, I could go down a rabbit hole and be down $300-400 and be like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
okay.
No, they crush it. Yeah, no, I definitely I've seen a lot of what they've done on Instagram, and obviously they had their first show on Whatnot and did great. But yeah, no, they're awesome.
Yeah, that's, and to try to get some of those names on to try it out, and if they start coming back, everyone's gonna start flocking. That's for sure.
Yeah,
so,
no, for sure.
So I have my sum of all final question. It's a kind of a broad one. So let's say a year from the launch of the Whatnot comics, because Whatnot's been around, like you said, for a year, right?
A year and a half or so.
Year and a half. But the Whatnot comics just kind of like started recently.
Yeah, pretty new. About a month in.
About a month. Okay. So 11 months from now, what do you hope to have accomplished from the launch? So it would be a full year. What do you hope is like your top goal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any particular, numbers or metrics like that or anything in mind. I think really at the end of the day, it's from having a lot of conversations with people in the community, it's pretty clear that some of these other platforms might not be providing the best experience. And so I think really kind of just at the end of 11 more months, being a place where the comic community at large, has a lot of confidence, in the app and in the marketplace, knows that it's a safe place to engage and transact. I think that's a huge win, because if we can truly reach that, then I think what you'll have is something pretty special where, people would rather hang out and, talk about comics and buy their comics on Whatnot and in a live sort of format, than on, other more transactional type marketplaces. So I think in 11 months, if we could accomplish that, then, Whatnot Comics would be in an awesome place. I saw a stream last night where someone bought it was a pretty expensive slab, and it was a buy it now listed within the show. And I was thinking, I was like, man, if someone would have bought that slab on one of these other marketplaces, right? Like, it still feels very cold, right? They get an email afterwards for a confirmation, and that's about it. And that's kind of the climax of the event. They wait to get it in the mail, maybe post it on Instagram. That's kind of it at that point. But on Whatnot, when that purchase was made, the seller can see it right away, and people can see it come up on the screen, and everyone's like, yo, that's a huge purchase. Congrats, man. That's going to be a great add to your collection.
Absolutely.
And it's just so community forward. So I think, again, I think just like making sure that we at Whatnot continue to preserve the integrity of the app, keep it safe, keep it, friendly for collectors, and make sure we're really building it the right way. I think we'll be in a good spot 11 months from now.
Yeah. Well, I've actually seen a lot of like Instagram sellers like complaining about being cut off from like PayPal and Venmo and stuff. So your safe transactions might entice a lot of people because at least through yours, you're not going to shut them down for selling. You know what I mean? Like some of these people are literally like, well, I guess I can't use PayPal. I guess I can't use this more. There's other ways, but whatever. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like what you guys are doing is definitely maybe a little ahead of its time. Like I feel like people are going to come around and be like, whoa, where has this been?
Well,
because
to that
like
point,
when I hear it's great. Like
to that point, I mean, I think, I think the app was just launched at the right time. Right. I think the founders, they did a great job at kind of understanding where the market was going with collectibles during the pandemic. And just, it was really just an area that, might have been overlooked that, could be served better. So I think it's a number of different things, kind of coming together. But yeah, no, I think the app has experienced very fast growth, which has been super exciting. And yeah, we have a lot of plans to continue to provide to the collector community at large.
Yeah, I think you're doing great. And I honestly, one of the biggest things that I want to make sure that everyone's clear is you don't have to chase down people for their bid money.
Right.
Like it's all done for you. That's one of the things that has been like difficult for some people that I know. They'll be like, hey, this guy claimed 12 books and I've contacted him. No, not like I can't get nothing. Well, if you make the commitment to claim them, you pay him for them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like that. I like that. Cause like the poor guy, I mean, like he ended up getting rid of, I think all the comics that he like did like a exclusive little, like to all the people who bid that day was like, here, I have these cause you didn't pick them up. Do you guys want them? But like to not have to worry about that, that's something that's huge. I mean, at least for someone like me.
No, I mean, yeah, I think at the end of the day, like just having payments, shipping, like I said, inventory, the bidding aspect of it all integrated. I think that's one aspect about what's making, Whatnot really work. And then when you combine and layer that on top of the live aspect and the community aspect of it, that's kind of where the magic happens.
Yeah, it sounds like a great thing. I'm looking forward to my first sale myself, and I honestly I might be taking you up on that offer. Just so you know, you might be getting it. Don't be surprised if you get an email right when this is over. Like, hey, by the way, yes.
Yeah, I think we were getting you on the platform here pretty soon. So
yeah, everyone stay tuned because you might be surprised at what you hear next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
But man, it's been a pleasure. I know you got other stuff you got to do, and everyone's busy, I'm sure. So thank you for joining me today. And I look forward to the growth of your app and being a part of that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate the time. Fun being here, and we'll do it again sometime.
Awesome, man. Take it easy. Thank you.
All right, later. Bye.
Right.